Let's do it.
All right, let's do it then. Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, we have a show. I promised last week we'd have a show. We have a show. We got the Kenji Sudo interview back that we've been waiting for the past couple of shows. One where I kept saying, oh, we'll have a show on this next week. Definitely. We have it this week, so we'll be going over his replies to some of the questions I had for him. We'll also be covering, briefly, patch 4.18, which just released today, some of the things they're doing differently in that, as well as the Starlight Celebration and everyone's favorite Christmas bear. But we need hosts to do that, and I am one of them, Michael, Mr. Happy Poperomo. Of course, joining me is Sly, aka Slythefox, aka Sly, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing, Sly?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. How you doing?
It's not Christmas yet.
No, the 12 days of Christmas start tomorrow.
Don't you mean the 12 days of Crima?
The 12 day of Christmas.
12 day of Crim.
12 day of Christmas.
There you go. How you doing, Sly?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Had a fun-filled weekend.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Beta.
As we all did, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. I was sick the day it came out, and I really only played like 3 hours, but it feels real good.
Oh, yeah.
You even did the optional hunts, right?
Yeah, we started doing them on Saturday, and then we completed them yesterday, all except one, which is really hard to find. But a win's a win.
A win is a win. Did Diablo win the Wrath? Was Wrath one of them?
Wrath, Diablos, and Jira something.
Is that the fish one?
Yeah, the one that looks like a giant lapras, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I encountered that one once. I think I almost mandatory ran into that one the first time I did the solo hunt for the second one, because it was like to tutorialize the enemies fighting each other, I think. Nice.
Yeah, he just hangs out in the mud, yeah.
I got to do a little bit of Ultimate this weekend.
Ooh, how'd that go?
4th trio. Not super clean for me, because I'd never actually been in trios 2, 3, and 4. Trio 2 is stupid easy. Trio 3, I think I screwed up once, and then Trio 4, we only got to once, so...
Gotcha.
I gotta say, Monk sucks for that part of the fight. if anyone else says, dude, Monk's awful for that part, I'm gonna agree. Everything else, it's fine, but that part sucks, man. Don't do it. It's not great.
Is it just Monk?
No,
or any melee?
I mean, it's anyone who needs to build up stacks and can't do it instantly. Like, at least for Blood of the Dragon, you just use Blood of the Dragon, and then...
And I can push a button if it
and you can push a button if it comes back. I go through Riddle of Earth, I go through Perfect Balance, and there's fucking 5 trios plus a Grand Octet, and I'm just like, dude, I can't, please stop. I want to punch stuff in the face, and it won't let me. It just won't let me. But yeah, other than that, and being sick, it's just a Xenoblade Chronicles weekend for me. But luckily, we have a show this week, so we don't need to talk about that all too much.
Yeah.
I did promise we would have a show last week, and you laughed about it.
I did, because, like, for weeks, we're going to get this interview really soon. Okay.
Listen, the PR team is doing a lot of work around this season. I love them for the amount of work that they've done for me in the past regarding interviews. I just wasn't sure when it was coming, so I kept saying, oh, no, definitely. You know that thing where you convince yourself it'll definitely be when you think it'll be? Yeah, I did that. It was a mistake. Love you, Adam. Love you, community team. Thank you. So we're going to go through the interview with Kenji Sudo first. Basically just asking him about the development process and his personal feelings and thoughts regarding Ultimate. For those who don't know, he was the lead developer on Ultimate and been the lead developer on things such as Titan Extreme, Second Coil, some of the...
We have a name.
We have a name.
We finally have a name.
We have a name. Kenji Sudo. His name's been popping up a lot more because of his work with Ultimate. I've seen quite a few Reddit threads and forum threads about him and talking about his work on it and his previous work and stuff. So I figured I wanted to ask the man himself a few questions. So are you ready to talk about the answers to those questions?
Yes, I am.
So the first question I had is that Unending Coil is undoubtedly the hardest content in the game. What is the development process? I don't know about you, and I said this to him. I literally thought that they just grabbed everyone who knew the fight and said, okay, guys, just mechanics. Just if you could combine any mechanics from these 3 fights, just what would you do? I don't know. That's how it felt to me when I saw the trios. They were just like, fuck it, just this. Throw in a blender, and throw in a twister, and you'll be good.
Twister.
It had to happen.
It seemed like I said, it seemed a lot more than mechanic vomit.
No, and that's really weird, because when you compare it to something like Midas, 8 Savage, which Layla, who we've had on the show multiple times now, has called mechanic vomit before. He didn't seem to feel that way about Ultimate when we brought him on to talk about that. It seemed that because it was structured in such a way that was tight but rewarding to fulfill. I don't know, I haven't heard anyone really call it mechanic vomit, despite it clearly being mechanic vomit in a sense.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because it's so good. I don't know. So he said there's 2 ideas: get a structure for the fight, and then focus on the game experience they want to bring to players. So obviously the game experience is just
hardest balls.
Just over and over again. There's nothing else it could possibly be. And that's totally how the development. I'd have to imagine that's how the development process was. They all just got in a room and he's just like, so there you go. That's how I have to imagine the meeting went. So in terms of first, you good, Sly? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? All right. All right. So first, talk about the flow of the battle. He knew exactly that he wanted to start with Twintania. He wanted to end with Bahamut, and he wanted to capture the theme of the Calamity, which is why we literally have the ability 7th Umbral Era.
Umbral Era, yeah.
Yeah, and so he wanted to create a sense of drama in the encounter itself. And with that, Yoshida actually is the one who made the request to add the Phoenix part of the fight. It's like, you want to add drama. Can you put Phoenix in there and make him resurrect everyone? And we know Yoshida's played World of Warcraft, so he's seen that idea used in that game before. So you know he was like ready for it. He's like, oh, I absolutely want that. So you guys who enjoy the Phoenix transition there, you have Yoshida to thank for requesting that. In terms of gameplay experience, he talks about the trio attacks, and it seems somewhat similar to the idea where he kind of asked everyone what their favorite mechanic was. He did that, and then he just kind of pieced them together in the ways that made the most sense, or him and the team worked together to do that. Not necessarily the most difficult ones, but the most memorable ones.
Right.
And then I like the way he puts this. I remember the work that went into taking the feedback and the information, trying to piece it together like a puzzle in my mind. He got deep on this. He's like... he got real deep on this. This is a really long answer, too. He was like really...
Yeah, it is.
Answer. And then he was... he said that they had the same level designers for Bind and Coil of Bahamut. They joined him on development. And they were really happy what they ended up with for the level of difficulty. Sly, what was the most recent time you got into Ultimate? How's your prog been on that, anyway?
We went in on Sunday. Sunday was riddled with people.
Monster Hunter.
Some of our raid are still at college and doing exams and stuff. And
yeah. It's
in the middle of raid, somebody pulled a fire alarm. So one of our members was out for about a good hour.
I had that happen in college once. That sucks.
Yeah. So we were down a healer for about a good hour or so, and we just called it.
I was doing Omnitron Defense System in World of Warcraft, I think, and somebody pulled a fire alarm. We were doing it on Heroic, and that's a really hard fight, and just not being there in the middle of Omnitron Defense System is not good.
But Thursday, when the VGAs were happening, we actually made it to Bahamut.
Nice.
Yeah.
How clean was that?
Oh, it went...
not how did it go after he got there? How did it go getting to him?
Oh, it went clean as fuck getting to him.
Okay. I know exactly how it went after Bahamut showed up.
Yeah, pretty much. We mistimed the LB.
I've seen that happen to even knowing that it's coming. It depends on if you have the 2 or the 3. Like, the timing changes because the duration is different depending on if you have 2 or 3. So yeah, I've seen that happen to people when you're progressing. So that's not bad. It's not bad at all, Sly. You got past the ads. You've now reached the boss.
Yeah, we're starting the fight now.
Yeah. You're starting the actual encounter at this point.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting to Bahamut means you had to get past Nail, and my second question I had to ask. So that Nail RP mechanic, though.
Mm-hmm.
I even explained that that's what it's called in the community, and I asked why. Why did you do this? I had forgotten. So Sly, I played 1.0, but I did not play 1.23 very much, which was the final patch where Nail Van Darnus was basically the penultimate fight for the, or not penultimate, he was the final encounter for...
Was this Nail with, like, the stairs and everything?
Yeah, Nail Van Darnus, and then he's Nail Deus Darnus in Ribbon Road hard mode, and yeah, it has the stairs with the meteors falling, and he casts Mega Flare and all that other stuff. I never got to really experience that fight, and so I didn't know this, so this was a little bit of a reminder. In the battle, Nail does the same thing back in 1.0. He just gives you speech, pretty much. I'm sorry, she. I'm still so used to calling Nail he, just... You know, it's just a habit. Yeah, but she. You know, I just noticed. I wanted to see if his answer had the correct gender, and I don't think he ever refers to Nail with a gender.
No,
he just says Nail every time he's referring to the.
That makes it simple. That keeps it simple.
That does keep it simple. You never have to worry about it. Yeah. But yeah, that was a mechanic that she had in the Raven battle in 1.23. So. He felt it was like, I have to have this in this fight. This is my defining thing for Nail. And if I can't have this, I'll be really upset. So I think in the end, took a chance and included it. Because they were like, Yoshida was like, you really sure you want to go down that route?
It paid off.
It paid off. People, I mean, Yoshida's concern was people wouldn't be able to figure it out. And we figured it out. I don't know about you, but it got figured out real quick. Like, quick. Oh, it's what she's saying. So I don't know, for clarity's sake, it wasn't as, I guess, cryptic as it maybe would have seemed to Yoshida and team.
No.
Now just don't put it in normal dungeons. Or it's going to be bad.
Yeah, don't put it in normal dungeons. Then you're gonna make people have to use ACT in normal dungeons.
The last boss of Rabanaster who has like 6 different tells for whether he's lying or telling the truth, and people still don't figure it out. So
you're right.
It's bad. Oh, you were gonna say something else? It sounded like you were gonna say something else other than that.
No, I was just saying that we'd have to have people use ACT in normal dungeons and shit.
We wouldn't have to have it. It would just definitely be better. Would definitely be better. Moving on to the next thing. I had to ask him, how did you feel when you heard it had been defeated? This is a very emotional answer from Sudo-san.
Yeah, his answers are kind of deep with the with some of these questions, and this one might be a little bit deep.
He said, I was filled with quite a few thoughts when I heard the news. I was amazed by the group who was able to be the first to clear it, happy that the content I made was successfully bested, and thankful to those for challenging it. We took great care with the unending coil of Bahamut when it came to balance, more than any other content released until now. And I can imagine it was very dramatic for the World First team in the lead up to their victory. I honestly had conflicting feelings, though. Of course I was pleased, as I said, but the developer in me couldn't help but think, so, it's finally been beaten. This wasn't so much a sense of defeat, but it was more of a sadness that I felt. It was the fact that the World First race was over, and having been involved from the early planning phases all the way through the implementation and bouncing, I felt like the job had finally been completed. Then again, maybe I wanted to bask in the tension for just a bit longer. It's really quite difficult to put these feelings into words.
The way you read that made it seem like you were a villain. Like you were like a Batman villain or something, like you were the Riddler, and I put all this work into this. And Batman has bested me. And once again.
These meddling kids and their damn dog. That's the World First group. Just some meddling kids and their damn dog. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I think the chat says that sounds like an ancient proverb, or you said it sounds like... I was going for more of the audio novel kind of feel for it, where somebody's reading, like, what's the name of that service? It's been so long since I've heard the name. We used to have it on Game Breaker all the time. The one, the audiobooks. Audible, there you go. Yeah, it's like an Audible reading. There you go. God, I can't believe I forgot that. I used to have to hear that at the beginning of every XIV Reborn. At the beginning and the middle. You'd think it would be ingrained into me. By the way, this show is sponsored by Audible this week? No, it's not. Okay. But anyway.
No.
One day, maybe. Maybe one day I'll do it. I could probably arrange it, but I haven't because...
I'll be down for some Audible books.
Dude, Audible's gotten pretty popular. All right, I'm just going to say that right now. They're doing pretty well from a business perspective, I'd have to imagine. Okay. So that's how he feels. That's his emotion. Which, considering we had Layla on the show, their emotions were almost mirrored of each other from one of the groups that was... He was on the cusp of beating it when we interviewed him. And hearing Sudo's thoughts on hearing it, that it was cleared. They're almost mirrored in a sense. They're very dramatic emotions.
Yeah.
For a video game, I'd say, at the very least.
Of course, for something of this level...
Caliber.
Yeah, it's gonna be... You're gonna feel emotional once you finally beat it. I mean, not in the realm of the world first race, but in general, once you actually
I think regardless of whether you're world first or not in this encounter, when you finish it, you're gonna like... I feel pretty good being at 4th trio, even though I haven't spent much time in there. My emotions are very spread out, but I mean, it's a long fight.
And then in comparison to something like the next tier of Omega, we're just gonna be like, oh, okay, good shit.
It's gonna be really tough for like the normal raid tiers for people who beat Ultimate, even people who have progressed through Bahamut to some degree, even just getting through like Twin and Nail. Like nothing in Omega Savage really feels like Twin and Nail, even though they like it just doesn't. It just won't feel that. Everything's gonna be like 01 Savage.
I was gonna try to make an argument for X-Death, but it's not even comparable.
X-Death is at least a fantastic looking fight.
It is. I'll admit that. But in terms of the sense of satisfaction after beating it, I mean, again, I pugged it. I was like, okay, finally. Now let me get my fucking weapons.
That pug became your static, didn't it?
No. Like, I found a static like a day later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I knew it was like they were like within 24 hours of each other, so I thought it was one or the other. Okay. The next thing is I asked him why it had to be Bahamut, because we heard a story from Yoshida that originally the team wanted it to be Titan, and Sudo-san said no, it has to be Bahamut. It can be nothing else but this. And he said that when he heard the word ultimate, two things he had to make a reality. The fight simply had to be the ultimate level of difficulty, and the other thing it needed to have was to project a feeling of an ultimate class boss to those playing the content, building excitement for what waits challengers through the enemies, environments, battleflow music, and overall gameplay experience. That's why you have Tritania on one arena with one type of music, then Nail with another on the other arena, then you have Bahamut on one, and then it evolves into this ultimate encounter at the very end. It has to have like that kind of feel to it. And he said there's no way he could have anything other than a Binding Coil of Bahamut related encounter. And that's what it was. He was just not settling for Titan.
Well, this goes back to our conversation we had about like what would we see next, and you know, like he says, Titan is just Titan. Understandable if you put all the primals, all the 2.0 primals in one fight, and then had to fight Ultima, who just pretty much eats them all, I guess, and that would be kind of a fulfilling ultimate fight. We can have this argument, and we can have this argument until the next ultimate fight. But
it's not even an argument. Yeah, it is more of a discussion because
it's more of a discussion. But
and that's the thing. You brought this up. That is the next question. I asked, didn't that set the bar too high for any future ultimate encounter? Because Layla felt the same way. Like, how are they going to make another ultimate encounter after Bahamut? Like, what could you possibly do? Like, obviously, we've already discussed all the different ideas, but I don't think anything can be on the same scale as Bahamut. Anything else is just not going to be good enough.
You don't think?
I don't think
so right now.
That's why I'm not saying it won't be. I'm just saying I don't think and or can't imagine. And that's what Layla said as well. So I asked him, could you ever possibly even do a single primal like Titan? Is it possible to produce an ultimate encounter? And he said, not only is it going to be a challenge to follow up on any coil of Bahamut, it's just there are also too many elements missing in something like a Titan encounter to fall in line with the concept of the ultimate tier. Like with Titan, he says he feels like Titan Extreme is complete. There's nothing more that you could do with that fight other than just saying like, well, fuck it, now he has this, pretty much.
I mean, Rockmorn.
Yeah,
shout out to Zeno, Rockmorn. There you go.
There you go, Rockmorn. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we've all had ideas of what a harder Titan could look like. I know Yoshida mentioned my idea verbatim, where the arena splits into like 4 different platforms. You have to jump between them. But Sudo says that if they were to use Titan, they'd have to have someone else do it because he feels like Titan's complete, and that on his own, at the very least, if Titan's to be on his own in an ultimate encounter, that he just feels like it would be forced. He needs to do something else, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that as a hard confirmation that we're never getting just ultimate Titan on his own. So I'm going to start subscribing to the idea of Warring Triad, please.
Tower of the Gods, yeah.
Tower of the Gods, legit. I'm just, dude, every time I think of it, I think of Sophia's scale and Sephiroth doing the slam attack, and then that's what tilts the scale, and then as he's slamming it, the other ones land, later, so it, tilts back the other, I just imagine that. And then Zervan soaring while you're and then there's Nisi. But anyway.
How would Nisi get thrown into that?
You just add Nisi. If you want to make something more difficult, just throw Nisi in there, alright? That's all you need to do. Just throw Nisi in there, pretty much. So moving on to the next one. With the success of Ultimate, players are desiring Ultimate-style content for, other things. I feel like I should have worded this question differently. I asked him if he'd ever hoped that Yoshida-san would let him unleash one of his original dungeon creations before the Balancing Team suits it for, I guess, what a dungeon team it's supposed to be. But I said before the Balancing Team does their work. What I should have said is before it's brought down to a level acceptable for what is expected of dungeons, because he doesn't think he'd ever even want to do an ultimate dungeon that's to that level that the Balancing Team doesn't go through. He has too, basically, from what I get from this, he has too much respect for the Balancing Team to try to skip their process, and that it's target audience for dungeons is 4 people. It's casual play, so it's gonna be impossible to clear before the Balancing Team does stuff. He's it's always impossible for the Balancing Team does stuff. It's just never possible, and us developers like to go crazy before the Balancing Team gets their hands on it. Likes to create wacky situations. So that's not a no to Ultimate Dungeons. I think my question was not worded properly for what I actually was hoping to hear.
Yeah, I still have hope for ultimate or extreme type dungeons.
Yoshida said he's had interest in something that's like Mythic Plus, and he said he wanted to give us more options for running standard dungeons, the unsynced option that we have now, but he wants more interesting variables on that. Who knows when and if that'll actually happen, but that's not in line with this. That's also not in the same line of what Ultimate is. Ultimate's the idea of taking a dungeon and not with gimmicky stuff added health and randomly enemies have poison clouds and shit. You're just making the dungeon harder, pretty much. And I think that's the idea that Sudo-san is describing not being subscribed to, in a sense. Also, the next one is, I asked him how it felt to be praised. Because Yoshida had a bunch of praise stuff, Sudo-san has a bunch of praise stuff. All he had to say here is, it's not just me. There's so many other teams, so please thank them as well. It feels good. He's it feels good to be thanked. It's great to see appreciation threads, but make sure that you thank everyone who's working on it. So he's a humble man. He's an honest, humble man. And then he just said thank you for playing the game, pretty much. I said, do you have anything you want to say? He thanked everyone. He's glad to have more people on the team now, and we should see more content that uniquely expresses the individuality of the different members on the team. As a non-developer, I can only speculate what that actually means.
And was that?
I don't know. When I mean speculate, I mean if I don't know, that means you need to know the individuals to know how their personality will come out in the fight they're designing. So you can only take different
You
personality
kind of have a
traits.
sense of it.
You could basically, you basically
sense.
just have to like find personality traits, like not even belonging to those people, and you just have to be like, well, that one qualifies.
Yeah.
But I was great having him do this interview. He had a lot of insightful things to say. He even answered. I gave them backup questions in case he couldn't or didn't want to answer one of the questions I initially gave him, and he answered the backup questions too. So we got a bonus here. I asked him how it feels to see the bounce team do their work. Does he ever feel like the content's toned down too much with what they do? And he says it's actually the other way around. He feels like he should have seen something be problematic before it got to the bounce team, and he should have made the adjustment before they had to. So,
that's a fair assessment.
He's a very this man. I have a lot of respect for this man as a developer because there's no bullshit with this guy. He is 100% honest and takes blame and takes criticism and criticizes himself. He's like everything you want in a game developer. So the fact that they have someone like this on the team is for me, it's personally great to see. And again, he said earlier the bounce adjustment team does a ton of work, but sometimes they want to get rid of a mechanic, and if he feels that mechanic is integral to his envisionment for the fight, he's like, no, we're keeping it. We're keeping that mechanic.
I'm glad he'll fight for like certain mechanics like that. Like, there's some mechanics that if we didn't see, like, again, the RP mechanic, it would be a totally different fight, like, in terms of nail.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I'm glad he's that type of developer who will fight for something he really believes should be in the ultimate fight or in anything.
We have seen him have regrets about certain mechanics, though. I think he specifically said he regretted the Nisi mechanic. I don't remember that. I'm trying to remember how that, because he had a panel where he was talking about all the like mechanics that were like ones he maybe didn't like or ones that were like too ambiguous or something. And I think I remember him saying Turn 7 had 2 of them. I think it was the Renaud's and I think it was Cursed Voice. I think he said that he kind of regretted those. I think the other one he said was Nisi. I don't remember exactly how the panel went. I'd have to watch it again.
Really? Cursed Voice though?
Yeah.
Or you mean Cursed Shriek?
No, Voice.
Oh yeah.
Sly, if you were like, you didn't start playing till after Final Coil was out, so you didn't do it when it was fresh prog.
No, I was there before Final Coil.
Oh no,
Like,
I'm sorry. You didn't start raiding seriously until Final Coil. That's
Coil,
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I at least got through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cursed Voice was there was a lot of hate that came out of that mechanic between people. You always have that one person out of 8 who just doesn't know they have
Get it? Yeah.
Or they're trying to play it too close, and they're like, okay, I've got 1 second left, and my GCD is in 2 seconds. Maybe somehow.
And then they voice half the party.
They voice half the party. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, and there's another one. Yeah, Titan's Weight of the Land was another one he mentioned, because I think to this day, Weight of the Land is the mechanic that is the tightest time to get out of, like from when the mechanic appears versus when it actually detonates. It's one of the tightest mechanics that they have in the game, and I remember him mentioning that as well. Thank you for bringing that up, chap. But yeah, he said he will debate with the bounce adjustment team in order to protect that element at all costs. You know, it was one element I also remember him talking about in his panel. Turn 6, Blighted Bouquet.
Oh yeah, like before and after the adjustment.
Yeah, Yoshida was like, "What? Wait a minute." And then he's like, "Yeah, you just have to not do anything when it's going off.
Not move." Yeah,
there was nothing.
Weapon.
There was. It would just used to say just Blighted Bouquet, and there was nothing else on the field. And then he's just like, Yoshida's like, "Add something, please." And he's just like, "All right, there's spores on the arena now," which didn't tell anyone anything either. He's like, "But there's spores now, all right? So you know something's happening at the very least." That one stumped people for a while. And then you know what? We talk about a lot of the really difficult stuff Sudo-san has done, and I kind of just had the assumption he liked making stuff like that. I asked him, "What do you like about designing super difficult content, and do you prefer designing it over easier content?" And he said, in terms of super difficult content, if at all possible, I don't really want to make them. He said And then he goes through, like, the walk of what his emotions are. He's like, from the planning stages, he has to fray his nerves to be careful. After implementation, have to confirm a ton of things, like will the mechanic function as intended, or does it match the picture during adjustments? Struggle with the intervals and the number of mechanics. After release, will people solve the mechanics as intended, etc.? It's a long period of time where his heart will not be at rest. The struggle is very hard to bear. It's much more fun to create moderate difficulty content that's not too high or not too low, such as normal versions of raids or extreme primals. So the man is not a masochist. The man is not just trying to run you into the ground, but he has a good time.
He has a good time doing it.
Yeah, I like.
He should at least get something out of it.
And according to chat, it's if he has to suffer, so do we. If I have to suffer all this stress, then I will make that stress on you tenfold. He doesn't say that. That's not in the interview.
Right.
But
no, but that's implied.
Yeah, it feels like it is in a sense. We get his suffering just on the other end.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's what we ask for. I want to
ask for this.
I guess the one other developer I guess I would maybe want to ask something is Nakagawa, who he mentions in the question about what he'd like to say to the people who have played Ultimate and who are
Mr. Ozma.
Mr. Ozma. That man I remember not being as gentle as Sudo-san.
Maybe we get something in the next Ultimate with Nakagawa.
A lot of people think that if I feel like, considering he's called Mr. Ozma, if Ozma ever comes to Ultimate, that I feel like it's deserved that he would be the one to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of wouldn't make sense if anyone else did. Like Sudo-san worked on Coil, like he worked on a lot of Coil. He didn't work on all of it, but he worked on most of it. So I feel like it was rightful that he got to work on that one. There's like a loud break from like a truck outside. It's like,
yeah, I heard it. Sounds like a garbage truck or something.
There it is again. I can see.
Somebody needs to fix those brakes.
Somebody needs to fix. Yeah. Well, trucks are generally loud when they break anyway. Oh man. But yeah, thank you, Sudo-san, for. I get used to. I sound super weeb when I say Sudo-san, but I'm used to like in the email exchanges calling him Sudo-san. So it's almost like in Persona when they're like, "Hey, what's going on there, senpai?" And it's like that doesn't belong in the English. Like you shouldn't be affiliating the English with the Japanese there.
An-chan.
An-chan. Oh, An-chan. It feels a lot like that, which I make fun of a lot in Persona with the English dub. But I'm used to calling him Sudo-san at this point.
All right.
It's the same with Yoshida. It's Yoshida-san.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just I feel like the rest of the sentence should maybe complement the using the denotations and whatnot. All right, so that's it for the Sudo-san interview. But wait, there's more to talk about.
There's more. Yeah.
Yeah, patch 4.18 dropped today. And Sly, last week on the show, you asked me a question. Mm-hmm. You know what that question was?
I don't remember what I had for breakfast today.
Not related to the show, though, Sly. So, do you remember what you said last week?
Did a lot of things last week.
All right, never mind. Fuck it. Anyway.
Yeah.
You asked me, do you think they'll unlock Savage with 4.18?
Yeah, that question.
And I said I would love for them to. I don't think they will. They did. So 4.18 is already out for anyone who just doesn't know and you're wondering why you had a random update this week. And it's the equivalent of what they normally do to the previous raid tier. They're just doing it like a month and a half before the next raid tier comes out for once. And they unlock normal mode completely now, including the crystalloids. Everything else was unlocked before. Now the crystalloids in 04 normal are also unlocked, so you can farm as many of the early model tomestones as you want. You also only need 4 instead of 7, and they completely unlocked Savage. 2 coffers always appear, so there's no problem doing the same fight over and over again to farm loot. Weekly restriction on rewards obtained from the coffers has been removed. You can enter as many times as you want, and you can go to any of them without having to beat them in order.
Yay! So people can get to Ultimate faster. Yay!
In a sense, I mean, if you can't beat 04.
Well, in a sense of gear, in the sense of gearing up for Ultimate, yeah, people can get to it a little bit faster.
I'm grateful because I remember when I said that now I had no way of gearing my ninja.
Now you do.
Now I do. Although creation tomestones are still capped. So for Biss, still, little shit out of luck on that front. I think I have like 1,500 saved up.
And I'm pretty sure people are, in terms of creation, hopefully people are gearing using their creation. Who can't?
So I haven't creation capped in like 6 weeks. You know that, right?
Same here. I haven't had a real reason.
I've been playing all the just incredible lineup of games that have come out in the last month and a half.
Yep.
Games, demos, whatever it is. I mean, I got episode Ignis tomorrow. You think I'm gonna log in creation? Think I'm gonna log in and farm Savage? No, I'm playing episode Ignis tomorrow, man.
BT Dubs, have you done the Lost Sphere?
I did it in Japanese.
I
should really play it again in English so I know what they're saying, but
yeah,
it's a good demo. Oh man. And so yeah, if you want to farm Savage or you want to help a friend get through Savage, you can do that now without having to worry about screwing over your static. Pretty much. If your static's even rating right now, because the group I was in prior to Ultimate is just like, yeah, we're not doing Savage anymore.
We're just doing Ultimate.
It's Ultimate.
Like we're not even worried about Omega. Like if I want to help somebody out with Omega, I can.
Yep,
I do. Every Friday.
All the trap parties you could ever want. All the trap parties. I actually kind of want to take this opportunity, though, maybe in early to mid-January. I want to go in with a job I haven't done, or a role. Like, I want to try going in as a healer, for example. I've always said I wanted to do this, but I just never have.
More power to you.
I'm not that afraid of healing 1, 2, and 3. I'm not confident in healing 4, because I think that takes, care. Yeah. 1, I am absolutely not afraid to heal. 2,
nobody should be.
No one should be afraid to heal 1 and 2, unless you're just like you have like group performance anxiety, giggity. And then 03 is like 50-50 because there are some parts that are probably a little annoying if you've never done it before. And 04, I mean, I'd have to learn it at some point if I was going to heal anyway. But it's nice to have Savage unlocked a month and a half before the next raid tier, and I'm glad they finally decided to start doing this. So good Sly Jesus there. Good Sly Jesus. You seem so excited to be Jesus.
Yeah.
Stop it. Come on.
Meh.
Meh. Meh, meh, meh.
Meh.
You can also trade Rabanastron coins for Robert now. So you can go get the Crystalloids for the early model Tombstone from 04 normal, and then go get the 340 upgrade item from your weekly Rabanastor clear. So go enjoy those 340 weapons, everyone. They're for you. They're all for you. This is them saying, sorry, there's no relic weapon, so here's another way to get a 340 weapon before the next patch.
Do you think this decision was tinged towards preparation for the next tier or getting people to do Ultimate?
I don't think it has anything to do with getting people to do Ultimate. At this point in the game's life cycle, if you haven't beaten 04 Savage, there's a good chance you're not completing Ultimate before the next Savage tier comes out. I think it's more so that there's a huge uptick in the number of people who raid when it's unlocked. And that's kind of been true in the past, and I imagine it's true here. They know they have like about a minimum a month and a half before the next patch. Maybe even like closer to 2 months, considering we're only at like the second Tuesday of the month, right? So this uptick is probably pretty important. It's probably a decision they made a long time ago in regards to maintaining interest through the holiday season. It might also be like there's also people who might be trying the free login, and in those 4 days they might want to check out Savage. So having something a little bit more, I guess, commitment free when you only have those 96 hours is definitely a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I think it's the right thing to do, and I think we'll see in 4.38. I also think it's more important in 4.18 to 4.38, which would be the next potential unlock early, because by 4.38 we should already have Eureka. Fingers crossed. If we don't fucking have it by then, I swear to God. We should have the new Palace of the Dead, most likely. We have the never-before-seen content that we still don't know anything about.
Lords of Verminion Part 2.
We've seen that before, though, Sly. That's not never before seen. We've seen Lords
No. You know what I mean. Just something.
Oh, you mean it's going to be something that's, like, so oddball and, like, nobody likes it?
Or like Chad is saying.
No!
Yeah.
Sly, no!
I didn't want to say it, but they're saying it, Yeah,
I'm not saying it.
That.
Shut up.
Maybe.
Shut up. Shut up right now. Okay.
For those on audio only.
They can read. No. They can go watch the video and read the damn chat. For 2 seconds.
Blitzball. Zodiark and Abes.
I'll punch you in the face. I'll fucking do it. I'll get that truck. I'll get that squeaky brakes on this truck, and I'll fucking stop them all over your face.
Stay behind the net to win.
Anyway, make sure you pass like 20 times before you do it, though, and score once.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
The little mitts and Abes.
I love this! Even though I'm going to hate Blitzball if it comes into this game.
Oh, it's not an if. It'll happen. It shouldn't, but it will. Yep. Anyway.
Yep.
Let's move into a PvP mode that actually exists, and it's okay that it exists, because Blitzball would be a PvP mode. Let's remind ourselves that. Is Rival Wings. So, who are you, Burn? We're gonna start smoking in the middle of the show?
Well, no, I'm smoking.
He pulls out a cigar.
A vape. But yeah, like, you know how I feel about Rival Wings. You know my stance on this. So go ahead.
So they made some adjustments. The number of cerulean tanks that appear has been adjusted. Now, the patch has been live all day. Can someone in the chat let me know exactly what adjusted means? Because I hate it when they say adjusted. It usually means it's not just more or less, but there's other aspects about it that are different.
Or more means to get it.
Or more means to get, like, it doesn't necessarily mean more. I just wish they'd say there's more of them, or they spawn more here, they spawn less here. There's like, I just don't like the word adjusted. It feels like shorthand for I don't want to actually tell you what the fuck happened. All right, so I'm gonna let chat, who's maybe done Rival Wings in the past 12 hours, maybe let me know what that actually means. The other thing is the mammoth movement speed has increased. Those little fuckers that run up the lane, they're fast. They're Sonic speed now. They way outrun the players.
Speed hacks.
Yeah, they basically, you'd kind of think some of your people on both teams are speed hacking the mammoths. At least it's better than speed hacking the oppressor.
Is it?
I don't know. Apparently, according to people, these mammoths being this fast is making healing the mammoths quite strong. Healing the mammoths was already kind of a good idea before, if you could spare a healer to actually just do that. But now it's even stronger. And I don't know how much stronger, but I know that when those mammoths reach a tower, it blows up. According to Hammer, there was a bug fix regarding cerulean tanks not being obtainable, and maybe it has something to do with that. Who knows? I feel like those two things are separated, but I don't know. So mammoths are faster, but the big one that I'm 50-50
that we all saw coming.
I saw the damage part of this one coming. I don't like the range part, which I'll explain why.
I knew the range was coming too.
I don't like the range being reduced, but so the cannons have been nerfed. They do,
of course,
about a third less damage. They literally do a third less damage. They do 2,000 less, so they're down from 6,000 to 4,000. Against objects and mammoths, who cares? It's 400 instead of 600. But their attack range was brought down from 75 yalms to 60 yalms. I don't like that. I was fine with just the numbers being reduced.
Why don't you like that?
So, Sly, do you remember when I spoke about the strategy for Rival Wings in regards to the northern side of the map being much easier to approach the core than the southern side of the map?
I see where you're going.
I could already kind of just hide in the corner, like way out of range of the core as an oppressor, and be protected by other mechs. And it was, it's as soon as you're the team who has that sort of Bastion style gameplay set up there, you're fine. It's even easier to get in range of the core now. That's the whole point of the cannon fire being reduced, is so you can get closer to the core. It just makes the north side of the map even stronger than it was before, and I don't know. I really feel the Rival Wings map is imbalanced, and at the very least, this will make the cores explode more frequently, so it means the games are shorter, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
But, it's bullshit. It basically means if you get in range, the cannon can't hit you. Like, as soon as you have an oppressor close enough to the base, the cannon's not going to be able to stop you.
Still, the ability to actually disable a cannon through just raw DPS or something.
Who cares anymore? You can get an oppressor in range and in range of the core, but out of range of the cannons, like even easier now. It's still you have to go through the north side of the map to do that, but it's still like the last bastion of defense for your base now can no longer defend your actual base, pretty much. Which I thought the cannons were too strong and stalling out games too long, but I don't like them being turned into a non-factor if you want to approach from the northern side of the map.
Well, being able to disable it would...
You can, by killing the person who's actually on the...
No, I'm just saying completely disabling the cannon, like, do enough DPS to it, it'll be disabled for a short amount, like, I wouldn't say a short amount of time, maybe like, I guess 120 seconds, and then it comes back up. I mean, that would even make it.
If those cannons are offline for 2 minutes, the game is over.
Yeah.
It
throws in a like more strategy into it. Yeah, but yeah.
It's it means ultimately that the core should be popping a lot more frequently.
Yeah.
The one thing that absolutely saw no adjustment here and was probably the biggest concern is the strength of healers in Rival Wings. Basically, if you're playing the video games now and you're not playing it as a healer, just go play Rival Wings as a healer. You'll see your quality of life go up significantly, even if you have no fucking idea what you're doing. Heal the mammoths, heal yourself after taking an objective, have 4 people attacking you and not attacking the other nearby, and you're good. That's it. Just healers are healers. If anything, with the fact that the damage is down on the cannon, so you can heal through them easier, and the mammoths are fast. The healers are even stronger, if anything. So, just 24 healers, You'll be fine. They fixed a few other things, like flamethrower ignored elevation, which I think is funny. That you could be at the bottom of a cliff and someone's at the top of a cliff and you're flamethrowing just the wall, but somebody's up above it and you're just like, what? What? It's not great. They also fixed an issue with cover. This is my favorite issue. An issue where the clock face on the fat chocobo table chronometer was displayed incorrectly. Like, holy shit, I'm so glad that they fixed that. That was bugging me a lot. What is the fat chocobo table chronometer, by the way? You Googling it? An issue in Rival Wings where cerulean tanks appeared in locations that cannot be collected, which might be what the adjusted thing had to do with earlier, and there was a...
Housing item.
The description for Shadowfang was wrong. In
housing
PvP.
Item.
PvP, yeah. So, other various issues have also been addressed, but they don't feel like telling us in the actual patch notes, so sorry. That's adjusted, and there's other things we're not telling you are the two biggest pet peeves I have about patch notes like that. All right. So that's 4.18. So go do Savage. Just go do it. If you haven't done it, go do it.
Do it.
Honestly,
do it.
If you haven't tried it yet because you're afraid of people being assholes, people are always going to be assholes. So if that's going to stop you from doing this, then you're going to run into a lot more problems in the future. And 2, just at least do 01. It's a fucking joke. Come on.
Yeah.
Just go get your feet wet. All right? Dip your toes in the water. Okay. And then we have the Starlight Celebration.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Sly, I know you do not care about talking about these on the show.
I give a shit about Starlight. I love Starlight.
Do you like Starlight or do you like this year's Starlight?
Both.
Both. So I'm going to pull up the page. I'm going to pull up a page here. Yeah.
Is it the Instagram?
It will be as soon as we actually introduce what everything is. So you can see. Look at all this crema. Look, she's all about the crema. He's all about the crema. They're all hugging the bear.
We all about the crema.
All about the crema. All right. Starts this Friday at basically midnight, 3 hours before the live letter. So if you're trying to do something before the live letter, you could do this. Starts in Old Britannia, whatever, at the amphitheater. This is nothing new. But the rewards include an orchestrion roll for the Starlit Gateway, a bunch of furniture stuff, a log set, a tree, a celebration advertisement, and a mount, the Starlight Bear.
The Sky Bear's back. He's alive.
That's Kruma Bear.
No. He came back as Kruma Bear, but he is the Sky Bear. He came back with presents.
He did come back with presents. He did come back with presents. So, Sly, you've already brought it up. The number one question everyone had about this bear is, could it fly? Because if it's a seasonal event item that can't fly, no one gives a shit.
Right.
It can fly.
Yeah, more.
This is from the Japanese dev blog. I'm sure the English dev blog is out by now, but this is just what I had open from the tab earlier. Besides, the Japanese English translation, flying is also supported. Cute front leg in flight. He just lazily flies through the sky with this one right here. I could probably blow up the images so they're a little bit bigger. There we go. But that's not his only trick. So Sky Bear officially exists, and he's the Kruma Sky Bear. It's like a reindeer and bear. Imagine if Santa had bears instead of reindeer. That's just how I imagine the bears pulling.
That would be a badass Santa.
Dude, that's what that'd be a metal ass Santa right there. It'd be like, yeah, I got rid of the reindeers. They weren't badass enough for me. I got fucking bears now. I got me a fucking
Merry Christmas
bear. This bear is not exactly a threatening looking bear, but you know.
Yeah, he's kind of cute.
Yeah. But that's not the only thing he does. He also throws presents.
The way, the animation when I first saw the Instagram, the video, yeah, you just get socked by a fucking present.
I like the still. The specific still that they have on the dev blog right here. It's
take your fucking present.
Yeah. All right, here's your fucking present, kid. And it's not even a real present. It just turns into fake snowflakes.
Yeah.
There you go.
You get nothing.
The Instagram, they posted on the Instagram itself an actual video clip of him throwing the present. So this is what it looks like. I wish I could make it larger. Oh, actually, I can do this. Make it a little larger. There you go. Here you go. We'll show one more. I like the ice elemental chilling in the back.
Here's your fucking present.
Here's your fucking present. You're gonna take this present and you're gonna like it. God damn it!
Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
And then he just walks away, too, like he has no actual interest. There's coal in it, bitch! We made this bear very angry. This bear's just innocently delivering some glittering explosions, and we're making him into a fucking bad Santa right here. We've watched this now like 6 times in a row.
It's still funny.
It's still in a pretty good spot right here. I like that the ice elemental also just goes off screen at the last second. Like he saw what the bear did and he wants nothing to do with that. He's like, "Oh shit, that bear's pissed. I'm getting out of here." There he goes. There he goes. All right.
It's like Robo Santa from Futurama. Like, no.
I just want to watch the ice elemental in the back where he's like, "Fuck that, I'm out of here. I'm out." There you go. Yeah, and so that's the stuff. Normally, I don't care enough to talk because this will probably take like 15 minutes to do, and it's like whatever.
But please, dear God, do this.
But
God,
for the love of God, get that bear.
Get that bear.
My favorite Reddit response to seeing this bear was, "Damn it, my sub wears off on the 14th, and I don't want to re-up it while I'm visiting family." I'm gonna miss this bear. You know what my response is? It'll be on the Mog Station next year.
Yeah.
So if you don't like fuck your presents bitch bear this year, then you can get your fuck your presents bitch bear next year. I feel like can somebody draw like a really angry version of this bear throwing the present and please tweet it at us?
Please.
I would definitely.
I will commission somebody to do this. Please do this.
You'll commission it. Sly will. Yeah. You heard it. Sly will pay you to make that a reality.
Please.
We didn't. I'm not. It's not even just on goodwill anymore. He will pay you to make that a reality. Sly is dead fucking serious about that.
I need this.
He needs this. Okay. And other than that, that's what we had this week. Not too long of a show, but we had a few things to go over at the very least.
We had a show.
But we'll have a big show next week because this Friday at 3 a.m. is the live letter from the producer, part XL40, for those who don't know. No, it's not Bear of the Realm or State of the Bear. Neither of the two. Although Sly and I do like to yell obscenities at each other. We just don't throw presents. Here, Sly. Fuck, here's your fucking coffee.
Hopefully that was an empty.
Of course it was empty, Sly. You think I would throw a full coffee in your all?
There might be some residual coffee in there. Might be a little bit of spillage. You might want to check.
No, I got these things. These things fell off the fucking. The insulators or whatever the fuck they're called. The holders.
God.
Yeah, those things. There you go. Now we're State of the Bear. Chad says we're closer to State of the Beer, if anything.
Yeah.
That seems more accurate. Yeah. So Sly with the live letter.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a miserable morning for. It's gonna be a great morning. It's gonna be a miserable morning for me. Do you know why?
Star Wars
at 8 p.m. the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically almost a 3-hour movie, plus with the trailers and shit. It's basically over a 3-hour movie.
Now I'm thinking about starting Shin Megami Tensei as Saturday at 8 because I'll be up anyway.
Yeah. See, for you at least it's 6 a.m. If you went to a movie the night before at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then had to wake up at 6 a.m., you'd have an easier time. You'd have 3 extra hours on it.
Right.
A part of me almost hopes the movie's bad, so I fall asleep. But I know that as a Star Wars fan, it won't be bad enough. No matter...
It won't be bad.
There's only one Star Wars movie I've ever fallen asleep in the theater.
Episode 1?
Rogue One.
Really? You fell asleep in Rogue One?
I fell asleep in the last... I fell asleep for about 20 minutes. I'd say there's about 40 minutes left in the movie. I fell asleep for about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't like Rogue One all that much, personally. Wasn't a big fan. Especially the way it ended, but that's a topic for another show. I'd say. Yeah. It's actually not a topic for any show that we do, which is one. So it's more like a post-show #spoiler conversation that we probably won't have.
Right.
Sly, do you think we'll hear about Eureka, the live letter this Friday?
Not enough about it. We'll hear about it, but not enough information. Which
do you think we'll hear? Do you think we'll at least hear something we want to hear, or we're hoping to hear?
Yes.
And what is that?
A date.
No.
We'll probably get more information. About it in the part 2.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but I think they'll go ahead and give a date for it.
I am scared that they're going to tell us Eureka won't make it. So here's the word for word thing I'm expecting to hear, and I feel like this will lead to a 4.25 release.
Mm-hmm.
We're aiming to have it ready by 4.2. I expect to hear those exact words. Not it will be in 4.2. Not it is currently planned for 4.2. We are aiming for 4.2. I think Eureka needs to happen in 4.2 and not 4.25, personally. As much as they may want to be like, well, we want people to do the raid first. No. Fucking 4.2 or bust.
Bust.
That's how I feel about it. And I don't know what to expect. I still don't know about you, but I still basically attribute it to being Eureka for the third time. I'm sorry, Diadem done for the third time. Is what I'm afraid it'll be. I'm scared. Sly.
Don't be scared.
I'm scared of things I don't know.
We're always afraid of the unknown.
But I feel like we should know more at this point. And we don't. We don't know jack shit.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there, just like with roaming primals, right? We'll get there one day.
Right.
According
6.0, folks.
According to Yoshida, they haven't scrapped that idea. They're just waiting for the correct time to implement it.
6.0.
I don't believe that for a second. So,
you don't believe 6.0? I mean,
no,
no,
I don't believe they still plan on actually doing it one day. Unless they're in Eureka.
I'm surprised.
There you go. Yeah, I just want to know more about Eureka, please. So, live letter this Friday, 3 a.m. You know what? I'm gonna do something right now, live on stream. I am going to message my good old buddy Rusef and ask him if I. So I was planning on doing what I did last time, where I took the Reddit Discord and I just streamed the translation section. But I haven't asked for permission to do that for this live letter yet. So I'm going to do that right now, as a matter of fact.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, because if I don't do it right now, if I don't put myself in a pressure situation, then I'm going to fuck it up and forget to do it until like Thursday. And yeah, and I'm going to New Jersey this Saturday. So I'm definitely not thinking about it as soon as the show is done. Until I'm in the middle of the stream tomorrow and people ask me. And then I'm playing episode Ignis. So I don't know. It's not on my mind. Let's see. I'm gonna do this right now. Please live letter. All right, I'm gonna actually do it in post show, but I've started writing it out so I don't forget. All right, because if I'm gonna throw off the show if I do it otherwise. So, on that note, Sly, I think we're done. I think we're done for the week.
Yeah,
I think we're done. Yeah.
Pretty short show.
Yeah, pretty short show. No, it was a good show. It was just over an hour. I'm feeling good about that time. It doesn't drag on too long. Doesn't whatever. But now I get to go back to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and grinding Tiger. So, hooray! Sly, why don't you tell the ladies and gentlemen at home where they can find you at, good sir?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Sly, aka Greyfox. You can find me on Twitter at Slythefox. You can find me on Instagram at Sly, aka Greyfox07. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/The Velvet Room. Saturday's gonna really fuck up. It's just a Shin Megami Tensei Saturday. I'm gonna be up. It's normally supposed to start 12 p.m., but I'm gonna want to start it early since, live letter and shit. I'll already be up. And it's gonna be a long one.
Is it?
We're not. Yeah, it's 4th and 5th Calp, but we're pretty much at the end of the game. But 4th and 5th Calp will take up quite a bit of time in terms of leveling and grinding. So it might be a long stream, not necessarily a 24-hour, but maybe. Let's see.
I mean, you have you have a whole extra day. Why does that affect Saturday?
Because it's called Shin Megami Tensei Saturday.
But what does that have? The live letter's on Friday, Sly.
Wait, Friday as in Friday proper or Saturday?
Friday, 3 a.m. As in, I go see Star Wars Thursday night at 8 p.m. and then the live letter is Friday.
Never mind.
At 3
We're good.
a.m.
Fuck.
What do you mean Friday proper? What does Friday at 3 a.m. sound like? That's not Saturday.
Yeah, because Japan Friday.
No. Yeah, it's Saturday in Japan for it. It's Saturday at like 10 p.m. in Japan for the live letter. That's not true.
Time is stupid.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue that sentiment at the very least.
Yeah.
There you go.
And here I am thinking I have to reschedule a whole fucking day. Never mind. 12 p.m. Shin Megami Tensei Saturday. Mike, where can they find you?
I turned off my chroma key for this because I was seeing I don't have my.
Yeah, you're.
I was phasing through existence in a sense, but only partially. So it was like a staticky existence. I just turned that off for the rest of the end of the show. But anyway,
you became part of your branding.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Mr. Happy. You can find me with that name anywhere. Just Google it. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram.
Google.
Just Google it. Just Google Mr. Happy is an asshole. You'll find at least 10 results. I think. Maybe more.
Way to sell yourself, man.
Well, I mean, you search for what you want to find, right?
Right.
If I search, the Earth is flat, I'll find a bunch of people supporting it. But not Mars. Mars, we've proven Mars is not flat, at the very least. We've gotten there. Yeah, so just do that. And I'm playing episode Ignis tomorrow. I'm probably trying to work on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 post-game stuff before the end of the week. And then, I don't know. What else? There's other stuff. Romancing Saga 2 comes out this Friday on like Steam and PS4 and stuff. And I've never played that before, so I might try it out.
Have you played any of the sagas?
No.
Pretty decent.
Looks
Except
good.
for Endless Saga. Endless Saga I didn't like.
Romancing Saga 2 looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks aight, if I can say so myself.
Meh.
Listen, I'm just still dreading the end of January, dude. Ni no Kuni 2 got delayed, and I think that's good for Ni no Kuni 2. Because it's in March, where I don't think anything important is happening yet.
Yet.
That's the important thing. Yeah. So, I think that's one less game I need to worry about at the end of January. Especially if 4.2 ends up hitting. Man, if 4.2 and Monster Hunter Beta comes out the same day. That's not good.
Wait. 4.2 on a
Tuesday.
Friday?
Oh, no, that's right. Monster Hunter's coming out on a Friday. Same week.
Yeah.
Is the
Same week.
Same week as I forgot Monster Hunter's doing the whole worldwide release, so they're doing it on the European schedule, so it's launching on a Friday. That's weird. North America, everything launches on a Tuesday. Europe is Friday, and then when a game wants to do worldwide, they generally just do Friday. Honestly, I don't ever understood why Tuesday, because Friday has the fucking weekend ahead of us. Makes so much sense.
Exactly. You have more time to play and shit.
Exactly. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on over into the post show. So thank you very much for joining us this week. We will see you for next week's show after. See? Sly, I swore you were about to remind me. I wanted you to think I forgot. Because after last week, I didn't forget, and you reminded me. And this week, I wasn't
gonna say anything. I was gonna let you go on your own.
I tried to play that one out.
I have faith. I have faith in you now.
I don't know. Last week you betrayed me. Last week I was literally about to say, and then you're just like, "Hey, wait, what are you doing?" And I was like, I was literally in the process of saying the sentence. We got to thank our sponsors for the week. For those who don't know, we have a Patreon open for #demonetized over on YouTube because I don't want to delay my videos just so it can have a green dollar sign next to it, and because I say fuck occasionally. You know, that's
and blood.
Yeah, and blood and storm and words. I suppose I have to be afraid of those damn words, man.
Words.
So on Patreon, we have the ability for people to sponsor the show. They get a shout out here. I've actually been very behind on getting caught up with some of the stuff over there on Patreon because I was sick and VGAs, and it was all going to get done this weekend, and none of it got done this weekend, pretty much. So I'm a wee bit behind on everything that's supposed to be happening for December. But anyway, we have our separate sponsor tiers, so let's thank the standard sponsors first. We have Phoenix Down Free Company on Goblin, Serren from Zodiark, Hersh Fersh of Faerie, Jean-Francois Goetia Valefar of Siren, Kurioshi and the Reckless Tea Party Free Company, Ellisan Le'ore from Balmung, Rynoet Chikara, Sour Cream and Chives, Marshtechy, Mantaru and the Rivivus Free Company from Zodiark, Lexxie Valentine, Eadric Redsteele and Exodus, and Merida Mackenzie. And then we have our elite sponsors. We have Tin Colossus, Darklight 2013, Arthur and Mill Gaming, Bishop, Kiltastic Jones, Raul Jr., Killer Hackman, Khuja Cross of Jenova, Nadia and Kurasame, Aqua Sacrifice, Private Mikey, Obad Del Shamsi, Rudy Rudiger, Spike, Jenova Odin of Tomberry, Naku Niyame of Balmung, Crowless Moonscar, Ira and the Avon Blanc Free Company from Zodiark, Ignis Fairgun from Diablos, Noct Cordis from Excalibur, Vilestra of Famfrit, and Kat Kozuma. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
And if you are waiting for a message from me, then sorry, I'll be trying to get to it before I go to New Jersey, but it's a busy week before I go to New Jersey, so I'll do what I can. I'll do it. I'm sorry. And now that my attempt to make Sly feel guilty for making me feel betrayed that he doesn't trust me, now we can actually end the show.
Yes.
So thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you next week to talk about the live letter, and I'll probably get either the Australian or Mary to join us if they're available. So we'll get one of the two. Yeah. Or both. Who knows? But thank you. We'll see you next week. And until then, take care.
Fuck your presents.
Yes, fuck your presents. Not literally. Unless your present's a watermelon.
No words.